Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Friday, the 21st day of July, 2023, Friday of the 15th week of the year, the 15th week in Ordinary Time. Coming to you a little bit different today from the side of the rectory, friary. There's the other side over there. And I always like this little area right over here. The sun's right in my eyes. This little wooded area that is by the driveway that you come in off of Cape Charles Drive onto the campus itself. So it's very woodsy. And we never ever make use of it for anything else. So it's kind of a nice little other place, woodland place, natural place here on our campus. Today the readings continue the story of Exodus. Again, we jump thousands of chapters into the last of the plagues. So we haven't done any other plagues, but we come to the last of the plagues where basically Pharaoh, because of his obstinacy, has now given God recourse to create destruction. And so in the way that the firstborn of the Israelites were killed under Ramses. This is probably Ramses II, I think. Under his grandfather, whatever it was. Now it's going to be the Egyptian children that are going to be killed, the firstborn of the Egyptians, in this last of the plagues. And so the proclamation of the Passover is given to Israel by God about finding a goat or a young lamb and without blemish, and then to sacrifice it and to place its blood upon the lintels, the sides of the door, the top of the door frame, as a sign when the angel of death comes to pass over the houses of the Israelites and then to wreak havoc upon the firstborn of the Egyptians. And then this would be the final plague that would instill in Pharaoh the necessity of getting rid of the Israelites, but actually it isn't, because Pharaoh will become hardened of heart again and try to pursue them to the Red Sea. But that's later on. So here the command of how to eat the Passover, how to celebrate it the first month of the year. Again, this is a revision of Jewish calendar too, because if this is the first month of the year, then it is the new year. But yet the new year also happens in September. So this question of Israel moving from a livestock husbandry kind of lifestyle, so that September might be the time to be able to celebrate a new year, now to an agrarian model in which seeds are planted and there is harvest and getting ready for the harvest and things like that in the springtime. So just a little bit of the shift of what, again, Israel is becoming, so that this Exodus is a truly foundational event. The entire calendar is changed. What is the focus of the life of Israel has changed. And again, this is all the work of God. So it is this kind of sense in which, what is God trying to do with this? Because setting Abraham up in Israel should have been enough, and everything should just have run natural course because of that. And yet, because God does not force or intervene in that kind of way to co-opt our will or our decisions or whatever it is, Israel has traveled down this journey, of finding itself in a place that it should not be, and now God taking it now back to a place where it should be. And what kind of work does this do? What kind of affirmation does this do to the covenant that God makes, with Israel? Because technically there will be now a second covenant with the law that will come down from the mountain, in the Exodus, and that the passing of the fire pot between the two ends of the sacrifice that Abraham does a couple of days ago is now superseded into something more. And so again, this is this great journey of Judaism's and of Israel's understanding and history and relationship with God just continues to unfold and continues to be transformative and to grow. In the Gospels today, Jesus makes a very good point, is that we do not exist for the Sabbath. We do not exist for Sunday. We do not exist for rules and regulations. We exist for God. And if God is life and God has given us life, then we exist to live. So Jesus and the apostles are picking grain on the Sabbath, and they shouldn't be doing anything like that because you don't move an inch on the Sabbath. And Jesus basically says, that this is a stupid rule. This is not how this rule is supposed to be interpreted. And he brings up the example, again, of David and his soldiers, eating some bread in the temple that was only reserved for the priests because David and his soldiers were hungry. And so you don't let ritual, you don't let rules and regulations destroy, the sense that they were made for, and then again, and destroy the relationship they've been created to foster. If the rule becomes more important than the relationship, then the rule should die. The rule should change. And Jesus is very emphatic, at stating that. A lot of times, though, in our church, we prefer the rule over the people. We prefer the rule over the relationship. We prefer the rule over the life that it is supposed to give. That is never our way. That is not the way of God. And that is not to be our way as believers in this world. A blessed day, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord give you his peace.